Hello and welcome to our show. This is the ELSON Bros show, okay? ELSON Bros podcast. So this is our first episode, and hopefully Dan Elson, my brother, which is a digital marketer, is going to join us, and I'm going to invite him into this live, and we're going to discuss our first episode, which is going to be surrounding Facebook ads. So fingers crossed. It will come along shortly in here and we can get started on the show. So just give me a second. Let me just see if he's going to pop in, and then we'll get right on it. So let me just message him. Just go live. So this is our first episode. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks for coming in, guys. Really appreciate this. Do let me know the feedback on the on the landscape view at the minute from myself. I just got a like there from my brother Dan Elson. He's currently in Sydney, but he will introduce himself shortly. Let me just see if he comes in, and let's see if we can get him in. Let's see, invite podcast. Here we go. Dan Elson is invited. So once he comes in, fingers crossed you can't hear my background noise, but do let me know. Comment below if you can hear my background noise. So yeah, I'm just inviting Dan Elson to come in now and see if he just comes in. So thanks so much for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. This is our first ELSON Bros podcast episode. So we're hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be doing this weekly, and we're going to set the subject this evening is Facebook ads. So hopefully I can see lots of people coming in right now, so that's awesome. I'm just fingers crossed that we're going to get him in shortly. It just seems to be a bit of a lag, so sorry about this, guys. Let me just message him again, just see how it's going. So just give me a second. Shall I? No answer from a live video guest, so sorry about this. I'm just trying to get Dan in here. The connection earlier today was a really good connection. At the start, we didn't do a podcast show. We were actually just had a conversation in Messenger. But once our conversation got in, and I guess after 5, 6, 7 minutes. We actually had a really pure conversation. You know, my brother's in Sydney, and obviously I'm in Yorkshire, over in the UK. So I don't think he's coming in, and this is not good. So really sorry about this, guys. We really wanted to share value and knowledge with you each week regarding your online marketing. And we just felt, we had a good talk earlier today about Facebook ads and just the huge potential for businesses to get involved in this. It's not just a case of having a pretty Facebook page anymore. It's just so much more than that. The Facebook ads is a whole new ball game, if you like. But unfortunately, it's not turning in at the minute, so I'm really sorry about this, guys, but thank you so much. The screen is narrow. Okay, thank you for that, Holly. What I'll do is, let me just flip myself, see if that's any better. Now, I bet I'm on my side now, aren't I? So, it's not actually flipped me. I'm really sorry about this. So it's not flipped me in south. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to end this, this live stream and hopefully go live again, and hopefully get Daniel in there and Dan in there, because he hasn't come in now. I've just clicked on invite again just to see if he can pop in there. But he'll be connecting.
Excellent.
Oh, Daniel, awesome. Dan Elson is in. He's in. So Dan Elson, thank you so much for coming in. Now, the reason for landscape, as you can see, I can see, is that we're doing dual screen. So Dan's on my right and I'm on your left. So I don't know how you guys view it. awesome to let us know in the comments. So Dan, we've already got quite a few people in here joined, so hopefully we can give them some value based on. I don't know if you've got any light in there, or is it just something? How are you doing?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Whether you've got. In fact, I'm not really in the shot either. Oh, that's better actually, Dan. That's really good.
Cool. So you've got Dan here live from Sydney. It's 7:18 a.m.
Awesome, Dan. So just I'll tell you
Cheers.
what. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe what you've been up to recently, and then we'll get into it, and we'll talk a little bit of Facebook ads, because I know you haven't got much time, Dan. So yeah, just go for it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've got about 30 minutes. So my name's Dan. I've got a background in digital marketing across digital agencies, mostly in West Yorkshire. So that's kind of my background. In the last couple of years, I've been traveling around, bit of a digital nomad, traveling Southeast Asia, South America, Australia, you name it, traveling. And now I'm currently in Sydney, and kind of getting into the latest digital marketing bits and bats. So my background's a traveller, digital nomad, aspiring digital nomad. That's what I want to do in the next couple of years. So the idea behind this podcast is me and my brother Damion are going to be talking about different forms of digital marketing. Give you loads of value in terms of our thoughts and experiences and our knowledge. So hopefully you're going to find it pretty interesting.
Fantastic, thanks for that, Dan. So yeah, like I say, we've just got about 30 minutes for us episode, and fingers crossed we're going to do this each week and just bring in a different subject at a time. For people that are actually viewing, and if you've got any questions, do just pop them in the comments below, and if you could just, if you find any of this valuable, please do share this out to other people so they can get a chance to watch it and listen when they can. So yeah, guys. So Dan, we're talking about Facebook ads today. So, in your opinion, what can we say about Facebook ads? How can somebody start with Facebook ads? What do you think?
Just before jumping into that, in terms of the live streaming, so you can share it at the bottom. You can see at the bottom, opposite to your social icons where it says like and heart, all that kind of thing. So you can share this with people so they can join now. But as soon as this ends, it turns into an actual video on Facebook, and you can actually share that video as well. So we'd absolutely love any kind of share of the video, spread the message, spread some awareness, and it'd be great to get people's feedback. To answer your question, Damion, regarding how you can get started on Facebook ads, number one thing you have to remember is that Facebook ads are all about making money. So it's not there for, you can do brand awareness, but in my opinion, you should look at it as a paid media source, and a paid media source that can give you a return. So what I mean by that is, I'm not expecting people, nor would I put £100 in, £200 in, expect nothing in return. The idea is you start small with small amounts of budget, you test different target markets, you test different adverts, and then you slowly build it up once you see you're getting a return on one of them. So it's always important to recognise that you're not going to chuck money away. This is the way to look at Facebook ads, is the way that you would have looked at AdWords probably 10, 15 years ago. At first, everybody was scared, they'll never catch on. Well, the thing is, it'll catch on if people can make money out of it. And they could. And Facebook, I've got it spot on. The targeting's great, and it'll do everything that you want it to do to get a return. We're here to trying to help you do that, and it's something that we're both very passionate about and both got a lot of knowledge and experience in. So it's always important that everything you want to do on Facebook ads is to generate a return. So what I mean by that is, if you are going to spend 50, £100 or dollars or whatever it is to generating traffic to your website, let's have a goal in mind. What we're trying to achieve. Are we trying to get people to sign up for your newsletter? Are we trying to get people to buy something? Are we trying to get people to, come back? So there's a number of things you can do. For example, you can have retargeting cookies onto the person. So when they come to your website after they've clicked on your ad, you can retarget them again with a different message. So there's a number of things you can do. So don't just treat it as, oh, that person's come to my website and, oh, it costs me 10
And that's, I mean, that's very, very in-depth Facebook ads. I think that Daniel's on about that. I don't know whether we lost you a little bit there, Dan, but so that's very in-depth Facebook ads there. But, in terms of, I mean, we were discussing it earlier today about, almost like the ratio or the percentage of people actually, they're obviously using to get an ad in a local, small brochure or something like a magazine, but really the ROI of that, compared to Facebook ads, the Facebook ads are more, the potential is huge really than anything, than just putting a pretty picture in a magazine and hoping for a customer, if anything, where at least on Facebook ads, you can actually target people within an audience, within a certain demographic, if you like, a certain area of the UK you want to target. So is there anything you can elaborate on that, Dan, about certain areas, how people can be that specific and they can actually, they can put in the 50s and the 100s and they can actually see the return of their investment rather than the printed ad that they're hoping and fingers crossed I'll get a customer next month.
Yeah, and it's not just fingers crossed get a customer, but it's kind of how do you measure that? How do you know you've got extra customer? If you think it's working, it's just personal opinion. Whereas on Facebook, Facebook advertising, you can see the data, the raw data. You can see how many people have clicked on the ad. You can see how many people have gone to your website. You can see how many people have then bought your product on your website or inquired or signed up for your newsletter. So you can do all these things. You can track everything, and that's the beauty of it. We need to make sure that we're in 2017 now. So these little booklets which come through your news, through your posts, just think to yourself and ask people around it. Do you use them? Do you read them? Do you see them? Or do you just treat them as trash and put them in the bin?
I mean, I've seen a lot of people. I know a lot of people's behaviours, if you like, that they might have finished, the 9-5 job or whatever. They've got home, they've sat down, they've had the teas or whatever, and they're watching TV. And literally, they're scrolling through the phone, and that's all they're doing. They're checking Facebook notifications constantly. Who is actually, I'm just going to read this little brochure that was next to me and see what's going on in there. I think literally, majority of the people's audiences are just captured on their mobile phones and probably Facebook. We've been 2 billion, 2 billion profiles, people on there. In the world, I think that's where you need to really think about it seriously. That's where you want to invest your time for your business.
What you need to do with marketing is go where the eyeballs are at. Yeah. Everybody's on Facebook. Everybody looks at Facebook. What was the first thing that I did this morning when I got up at 7 a.m.?
Yeah.
So everybody's doing it. So look at what you're doing on a daily basis in terms of your daily kind of behaviors and ask around. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's eyeballs are on Facebook. So let's get on Facebook. Let's do what, get to the people. That's the thing about TV adverts as well. You're looking at TV adverts and millions of pounds. And I understand there might be some value in terms of brand awareness. And people like McDonald's can afford to do it and get in your face, and Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. However, general, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, they'll be chucking your money away. How are you recording a return, right? Yeah. And realistically, where are people's eyeballs? Are they on the adverts, on the TV?
Yeah, you've always got to think that. You've got to think, where is your customer actually looking You know, what are they doing? What's their behaviour? You know, and like you say there, you're getting up at 7:30. Well, you're waking up at 7:30 and you're not even getting out of bed, and you're scrolling through your notifications on Facebook, see what you've missed within the 6, 7, 8 hour sleep you've had, you know, which sometimes is not much, but you just want to check it out anyway. So if you're in your customers' eyes, you know, you're bringing value to them, then they're just going to go, yes, I remember them for what they did, you know. And then they're just going to, if you're a shop, for instance, they might have seen your offer on for the Monday morning, and they're coming in at lunchtime when they've worked all the morning and they're on the lunch break. Oh, I'm off in to buy that product that I've just seen 10% off for the Monday. You know, it's things like that that just trigger it off for people, you know, and that's just one example for a shop, for a local business. But there's hundreds of, you know, ways of suggestions of earning more money for people, for the businesses, you know, and that's what me and Dan are all about. We're passionate about, you know, helping people grow their businesses. So this is what we're trying to achieve with these podcasts. So what the question I've got here is, Dan, is what would somebody if they wanted to start with Facebook ads, how would they go about doing that? You know, for their experience, for instance, if they wanted to dabble into it themselves, or if they wanted to learn a bit about it, but then, you know, use somebody else to do them for them, you know, what I guess what stages, you know, or what answers would we kind of give them?
Well, it's I've been very transparent about this. It's tricky to start simply because, you know, you are at that mindset of, you know, I've got to spend money to make money and generate money. You know, marketing online now it's very difficult to do it for free. So you've got to first understand that you're going to have to spend some money. Now, I'm not talking about ridiculous amounts, but you've got to understand that spending money to make money is going to happen for your business if you're serious about your business. So the thing that you've got is tricky to start simply because you've got to get over that mindset, that mind barrier of I've got to spend some money. You know, I don't want to waste my money, and nobody does. Nobody wants to waste some money.
Yeah.
You've got to have simple things set up. You've got to have your account set up. You've got to have your payment set up. You've got to have an indication of how ad work and stuff like that. And this is all on Facebook's website. You can go through their kind of training manuals and stuff like that. So it's all very good, but there's a lot to learn. There's a big learning curve, and if you are throwing money at it, then, you know, it's very easy to get disillusioned and think, oh, I spent £50 and I've not got any return. Oh no, it's not worth it. It don't work. Well, it does work. That's why Facebook made billions and billions of dollars. It does definitely work, and it works really well. Simply because, like you said before, the targeting is so spot on, and the fact that you can do dark posts and people can't see it, and it's just to them people. With your message, with a really awesome ad, you know, creative ad, and it's difficult. So that's another aspect as well that you've got to be aware of. That you've got to really use compelling adverts in terms of the creative around them, and it's got to flow. You know, if you're showing the same one to somebody 10 times, so frequency, 10 times, it's too much. You know, do you want to see that? No, that's just going to annoy you. That's going to turn you off. So maybe the third or fourth one, you know, somebody might have interacted with it or whatever, and then you got to show a different ad. So that's retargeting. So
you're suggesting different pieces of content there, aren't you, Dan? So different pieces of content where people associate, you know, that it's still the brand, but then they're showing. It's almost like storytelling, isn't it? You're sending your customers down a path.
Yeah, storytelling online in a digital format that you can track and see when you're making money and how long, you know, and you know full well as soon as you get one customer, then the likelihood is you look after him, you send him a newsletter, all this kind of stuff that will result in a long-term investment with them. You know, lifetime value is key. But to go back to the original question in terms of Facebook, now, it's a tricky thing to get up and running and get started and have all the resource and assets and stuff. And it is tricky, you know, and to be aware of the latest things as well, the latest kind of ad formats, how best to work.
I mean,
what
they're
kind of
always changing those. Yeah, always changing the
it's
updates.
a minefield. And look, these courses out there, there's like beginner courses and stuff like that, and I'm sure some are better than others, and some offer more value than others. But like
Well,
one of the best things you can do is if you don't want to risk your money and you're not quite certain what to do or how to do it, but you want to, sell a certain product because it's your highest, average order product, or it brings in the most revenue for you, or that page gets viewed a lot, then why not look to other people to help you with that advice and say, well, look, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to achieve. Here's my objective. How can I get there? What can we do? And this is something that, me and my brother, Damion, can offer. It's something that we can help you with. So really passionate about making money. That's what it is. That's business, and you can't hide away from that fact. You've got to have your kind of values of your business of why you're trying to do it, why it's such an important thing. But let's face it, you've got to have the money coming in. Otherwise, there's no business, there's no
yeah.
life. Everybody's struggling. So yeah, it's definitely something that.
I mean, another thing to add there is I just think that this is almost like another stream for people. Businesses have several different streams these days of income. They don't just have a shop or or just a website. They've got different streams because you have to have that in a business to survive. Really, I think in these days, it's not back in the day where hopefully that everyone's going to come to his website and we're going to sell all his products. You do need these different streams to actually get that traffic to come back, through Facebook to buy products to your website. So, or your services. Absolutely. But, I can imagine from the businesses I've talked to locally, it is very difficult for them to actually measure, what customers, and if anything, how they get the customers, where they come from, where Facebook ads
acquisition.
We know exactly, this information where people have viewed and where they've come from, and we can actually target them over and over again. With clients' offers that we've been doing. So it's simple as that. And I guess if anybody ever wanted to know the, I guess, percentages or results and stuff like that, I'm sure we could share some bits with them, if they're really interested in what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a really good comment there from James. Thanks for sending that through. It's just popped up. So I love the fact that you're already, testing on Facebook ads. Again, exactly what you should be doing on using online marketing. The options there to test, and the whole point of testing is to see what little changes to your graphics or little changes to a single word can change vastly of what you want to do. And also even like testing like where you land on your website. We were talking about this yesterday, me and Damion, in sense of, how many times have you actually clicked an advert? In the sense of, it's very low, the clicking adverts, don't get me wrong. How many times have you actually clicked an advert and it's gone to a page page cannot be displayed, or a broken link, or it's gone to the home page and it was talking about a product? It's like, what are you doing? Like, where am I now? You just paid for that traffic. And I'm like, see ya. So how many other people are doing?
Yeah, I've seen top brands, we were talking about that. I've seen actually top brands, top companies that have actually had these. They've created their Facebook ads, they've got a sponsored ad, a pretty picture, pretty offer, and you think, I'll click through that, and the link doesn't actually work, and it just goes to their main homepage, and just go, well, this isn't what I after, and it's almost like just throwing the money away. Just no idea what they're doing, and they've just lost a customer that way. So you have to have a strategy in place and actually test everything out that you're doing all the time. This is what it's all about, social media. It's about testing your content over and over again, and I'd always, there's bits and ideas of what we can suggest, and that's what I pretty much say that we're always kind of available, really, especially if you're in Australia, Dan, and I'm in the UK, that we're almost like, I guess, a 24/7 agency, that kind of thing, that that's what we're bringing to the table if you think about it. So
yeah, absolutely. And then
yeah,
that's the kind of the whole purpose. I think going back to James's question as well is in terms of testing. Look, like it all depends on kind of your budget, all depends on your target, all depends on your creative. So there's a number of different variables which go into to see what return you get. The only way you can do it is by testing. So you're doing, that's.
Oh, I think we just lost Dan a little bit there.
Sorry about that. The only way to do it is by testing and seeing what return you do get. But like I say, there is a learning curve here because you've got to set up the pixels on your website. Do you know how to do that? Do you know anything about GTM where you can put them in your website? Get your retargeting tag on there so that when people do come to your site, you can retag them and promote through Facebook. So it is a minefield. But like Damion was saying, sometimes you need people on that journey. I think it's important that people learn themselves as well. But if they don't have time and you just want a return, then look, there's people here who are creative, who have the strategy knowledge, who have the understanding and the experience. And, that allows us to put together a strategy. That allows us to have a story to tell. And a story is important to tell. It's not just about running an advert and hopefully keep people click on it and come through.
Yeah.
The other thing to mention as well on Facebook is that we're not just talking about other advert just purely for acquisition, but the fact that Facebook is now basically a paid media, service. You can see when you send out any personal messages from your pages, it tells you how much organic reach you've got, and it's so small, and the amount of people who are actually clicking on brand pages or business pages is so tiny, and it always has been. That Facebook had to recognize this, and Facebook then went, you know what, it's not that important, people aren't looking at them. What we'll do is, you need one because you need to run adverts someone, but apart from that, it's all about paid media now. But the good news is it actually does work. It does get you a return.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have been trying it and you're not getting anywhere or you're struggling, look, let's have a look at it. We're happy to come in and have a look at it and see what we can do and suggest. It might just be a tweak here and there. For example, I using a call to action. That straight away. Appreciate it, James. Thanks for the question. Any other further questions? Yeah, great. But yeah, completely agree with your approach there. That's what you got to do is test stuff and see what happens and see how it works. And
thanks for joining in, James, and thanks everyone for joining as well. Really appreciate it. There's quite a lot of people been in and out on here. So there's Keith, Tracy, Heather, George, Russell. Thanks so much for everyone for joining. Joe, Charlotte, Neil, and Morris, and Kalima, and Andrea, and Hillary. I'm just giving everybody a shout out down. Just really appreciate it for you joining in and spending
really good
and listening. Thank you, Debbie, Megan, Sam, Hadrian, thank you so much, and Michael, and another James, and Simon, and Esperanza, hopefully I've got that right, and Paul, and Ben, and Mark, and Darren. Sorry, I'm just going to go through you all. Thank you, Jack, thank you, Lee, Karen, Philip, Joanne, Holly, Leanne, Linda, excuse me, Brian, and I think that's about it, and Amy as well. Thank you so much, guys. David and Alex. There's quite a lot of people who have joined. Sorry about this, Angela and Chrissy. And so I think that's everybody. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Hopefully you've learned a lot of value from our first episode. I don't know if you want to maybe wrap it up, Dan, and see what else. I don't know if you want to say anything else, but I just think that people need to get on this a lot more, especially if they've got a business page. They need to start looking at this and maybe thinking about ideas or briefs on actually their products and services, and have a really good think about how to approach this next step, if you like, in a business page on Facebook. So let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Just before we end then, so I really appreciate it, everybody joining and viewing. Again, if you can share the video when it actually goes out on Facebook, that'd be great. If you found it interesting, any comments as well, always open to comments and feedback. Let us know. It'd be great to get some insight or questions from everybody for next week's podcast. So the idea is we have these regular, and we can help people, and we can just give you advice and experience and knowledge to move forward. If you've got any questions that you want direct responses from me and Damion, or you completely stuck, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, you just know you need to start acquiring some new customers, and you think this might be a good way to go about it, or any other ways, newsletters, whatever it is, digitally wise.
Then overall online marketing, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
We're just here to help. Excuse me, and especially if you've got questions, and I'm sure we'll get questions in like next week or so, Dan. And I think what we'll do is we'll answer them. If anyone's got any questions, we will answer them in our podcast going forward. Yeah.
So Damion, do you want to just wrap up in terms of how people can contact you and get in touch with you if they've got any further questions, or if they want you to have a look at their Facebook account?
Well, that's it. Yeah, I think everyone that's on here, obviously I've done the live, so they're all connected with you. You're all connected with me already on here, guys. So you can always message me on Messenger app anytime. If you prefer email, just contact at damionelson.com. And we're just here to help, really. And if you want anything further, just give us a question, and we'll just answer it. If you want to connect with Dan, I'm sure he's hoping to be connected with. And anytime you've got any questions on what we've said this evening or this morning in Australia, please do ask us. We've just got Tracy there. So I've been posting content for a year without much success, but paying a few pounds has got me more likes in a week than all that content. So that's very interesting, Tracy. Yeah.
It's, as I see it time and time again, it's crazy. The thing of it is now, like I've just explained, that Facebook's a paid media platform. So what the problem is with creating great content, and this is what everybody says, content's king, create great content. I agree, but if you don't amplify that content, if you don't push it out, nobody's going to find it. No. It doesn't matter how good it is. It could be the best thing ever on that subject online. If people can't find it, or people can't see it.
No one's seen it. No.
So totally, understand where you're coming from. It is annoying, let's say, because you've got to spend money, and you might have got views or likes on your page or whatever it is, and that's another point. Likes on your page don't really matter. It's all about engagement. It's all about getting in front of the right people and giving them a message and getting them to do something. So the thing is, right, again, going back, Tracy, thanks for your message there, just before we finish up. But it's just, that's part of the parcel, and if you do want to get people to your website, make sure you've got a call to action when you get there, get them signed up to your newsletter. They're obviously interested.
Them unique people as well. Your customers, people that are actually interested. That's what we're talking about here, that, that's what Tracy's probably paid for, people that are actually interested in their page rather than getting likes for likes' sake as well. So there's that kind of scenario as well that you need to look at. A quick tip as well there, Tracy, is if you have Google Analytics set up on your website, if you're driving people to your website, I'm guessing that's where your content's hosted, then what I would suggest to do is find your top landing pages. Ignore the fact that your top one will be your homepage. That's not more than common. Your contact us might be your second page, but see what kind of blog articles or what content on your website is driving people, right? And I suggest starting with that in terms of putting money into it, just so that you're likely then to, full well that the pages either A, convert, or B, people are interacting with them. Have a look how long people are on that page for. That's a tricky one because a lot of people have a lot of tabs open. I do, Damion probably does, everybody does. It is a tricky metric. However, it does give you a bit of indication of what type of pages are working, what type of people are interacting with, engaging with. And I'd suggest starting with these pages and pushing these out. Even if that content's quite old and you think, as long as it's still relevant, and it's still relevant to somebody because people are joining the bandwagon, joining the journey, finding questions, all the time. So I think, don't be worried that it might have been posted a year ago. You can go in and update it, add a couple more comments, or add a line at the top,
I always add this on my website. Add a line at the top, you know, updated on, you know, edited on, or whatever it is. But yeah, I'd suggest you finding out what's working. And also on them pages, make sure that you got a call to action at the bottom. What do you want somebody to do? Do you want them to, you know, jump on your newsletter? Do you want them to contact you?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, always make sure that, you know, when somebody gets to the bottom of your article, what you want them to do after that. You know, plus comment, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's based on, I mean, based on your call to action there, Dan, that's almost why I recommend your header graphic having incentives in it rather than just doing a pretty picture. I kind of say, look, you need to have like 3 to 5 incentives of what your business is about, and then the people then are going to decide whether to like your page or not. And you know, you're going to get a better return of people that are actually going to like your page for who you are and what you do. So that's the main reason why I drive that incentive on your header graphic. But you know, we're still talking about these Facebook ads. That's where you're going to get your nuggets from. You know, your core customers, and that's where, you know, they're always going to come from there now. You know, that's how they're targeted. So,
yeah, absolutely. So just wrapping up there.
Yeah.
If you want to contact Damion, you know how to Facebook Messenger, email. If Damion, if you could drop your email address just below for the people who don't know, maybe put your website on there as well, so people can go find out more about you. So for myself, aspiring digital nomad, and a digital marketer, Dan out.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Daniel, for coming in and talking with me today. And yeah, I think it's been a success. I think we've had quite a few people come in, and also we've had I've just put my email address in there, but we've had quite a few people joining and quite a few questions already. So it's for us, you know, we've helped people already. So I feel really pumped about that. Hopefully you can have a good day from that, Dan, as well. But so yeah, thanks so much for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your time and your questions, and we'll speak to you all soon. All right, so everybody take care and have an awesome evening or day. Thanks, Dan. Have an awesome day.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Have a good evening. Bye.
See you. Bye.